Okay, let's jump right into this. Right now, silently, literally right beneath our feet, there is a massive, high-stakes battle going on. We walk over it every single day, completely, totally unaware of the forces at play. We're talking about the very infrastructure of our homes. Specifically, we're diving into this intense, non-stop war between man-made plumbing and the relentless forces of nature down in Gardendale, Alabama.
So you really have to ask yourself, what actually happens when the earth beneath your home turns against your plumbing? I mean, imagine a shifting, silent destruction that's actively threatening your house while you sleep. We all just kind of take our running water and flushing toilets for granted, right? But the reality is, the ground itself is in constant motion, and the water we rely on, well, it's actually armed with hidden minerals.
So let's meet the two main antagonists in this geographic war. We've got Alabama's shifting red clay, and we've got the area's incredibly corrosive, mineral-rich groundwater. You see, the red clay soil down there acts exactly like a giant sponge. It expands dramatically when it gets wet, and then it shrinks right back down when it dries out. And this constant swelling and shrinking, it puts an immense, crushing pressure on underground water and sewer lines. It literally causes joints to separate and pipes to crack. Now combine that shifting earth with hard water that's just super heavy in calcium and magnesium, which actively leaves these crusty deposits inside your pipes, and you've got a perfect recipe for a structural siege.
Now consider the number 80. Specifically 80 psi, or pounds per square inch. In elevated areas of Gardendale, like around Luman Harris Park, the municipal water pressure can actually exceed 80 psi. And let me tell you, at that pressure, water stops being just a helpful utility and practically turns into a weapon against your pipes. It's so intense that local building codes actually require pressure-reducing valves when the municipal water pressure hits this threshold, literally just to keep your home's internal system from blowing apart under the stress.
Section 1. The Aging Infrastructure Time Bomb.
The battleground in those established neighborhoods, places along Mount Olive Road and the Fieldstown community, is already heavily compromised. On one side, we have what are basically ticking time bombs hiding in homes built back in the 70s and 80s, galvanized steel and polybutylene. Listen, galvanized pipes literally rust from the inside out. They restrict your water flow and spit out rusty water. And polybutylene, that gray plastic pipe they used up until the mid-90s, it deteriorates when exposed to the chlorine in city water, leading to sudden, catastrophic flooding. No warning, just a massive leak. But on the right side, we see our modern countermeasures, PEX and copper. These are the absolute engineering marvels designed to fight back. PEX tubing, for example, offers incredible flexibility and resistance to freeze damage, and it boasts a 50-year lifespan. It's a real game changer.
But here's the thing. Even with great pipes, your other appliances are still caught in the crossfire. 10 to 15 years. That is the standard lifespan of a water heater facing off against Gardendale's hard water. That hard water accelerates sediment buildup inside the tank, drastically killing its efficiency. So, after about a decade or so, the tank completely corrodes. And when it finally fails, it usually catastrophically floods garages or utility rooms, causing water damage that is way more expensive than if you had just replaced the heater in the first place.
Section 2. Nature's Underground Sabotage.
So how do we know we're actually losing the battle? Well, here are the direct casualties of this environmental sabotage. First up, we have slab leaks. These happen when that shifting clay soil we talked about stresses the pipes embedded in your concrete foundation. They often show up as mysterious warm spots on your floor or a totally unexplained massive water bill. Then you have tree root invasions. Roots actively hunt for the moisture inside sewer lines, invading through tiny microscopic cracks and expanding until they block the entire pipe. You might also experience the infamous cold water sandwich effect. You know, when you get blasted with a sudden burst of freezing water mid-shower, or maybe you turn on your tap and find discolored, rusty water thanks to those decaying galvanized pipes.
I really want you to look at this quote right here from the data. A small slab leak can undermine your foundation. A dripping faucet wastes thousands of gallons per year. I really want to emphasize the severe structural and financial stakes here. We all do it. We tend to ignore these seemingly small plumbing symptoms, right? A slow drain, a tiny little drip. But in reality, a small slab leak is actively washing away the very earth holding up your home. That's a huge deal.
Section 3. The Counterattack.
Don't worry, it is not all doom and gloom. This is where professional tradesmen launch a major technological offensive to reclaim your home from the forces of nature. This is their modern arsenal. Instead of blindly digging up your beautiful, expensive yard and causing thousands of dollars in landscaping damage, they use high-definition camera inspections to see exactly what's happening inside your pipes. If there's buildup, boom, They deploy hydrojetting, which uses incredibly high-pressure water to obliterate grease, soap, and hard mineral deposits. And if tree roots have invaded, they bring in specialized mechanical cutting tools to completely clear those enemy blockages from the inside out. It's highly surgical.
And the tactical execution of this counterattack is highly systematic. It is a no-nonsense three-step process. Step 1 is the call for dispatch. They route the closest qualified professional immediately to your property. Step 2 is diagnosis and approval. They inspect the exact failure point and give you an upfront flat-rate price, no vague, wishy-washy estimates. And Step 3 is the repair and testing phase. They utilize quality materials to make a permanent fix, followed by intense pressure testing to ensure that line absolutely holds.
Section 4. The Rules of Engagement.
Okay, I absolutely love this one. Here is a fascinating insider trade secret for you called the 13-5 rule. You see, a standard 90-degree elbow pipe is essentially a trap just waiting to fail because it creates turbulence and traps debris. So to ensure smooth waste flow and prevent clogs, especially in areas with poor drainage due to that stubborn clay soil, horizontal drain pipes that change direction must use fittings with angles greater than 90 degrees. Plumbers will typically use two 45-degree fittings together to smoothly guide the water along. It is such a tiny geometric detail, but it literally saves your home from disaster.
Now let's talk numbers, because we all care about the cost, right? When we break down the financial costs of hiring a professional, the average hourly rate in the area sits between $75 and $150 an hour, plus a service call-out fee ranging from $75 to $125 just for the trip and the diagnostics. And honestly, this perfectly illustrates why an upfront, flat-rate pricing model is absolutely critical. Think about it. Hourly rates can sometimes incentivize slow work, but a flat rate, it covers the diagnosis, the labor, the materials, and the cleanup right up front. You know exactly what you're paying before a single pipe is touched, which completely eliminates any mid-battle financial surprises.
However, pro tip time, you must always be prepared for the fog of war. You should absolutely always budget an extra 15 to 20% beyond the initial estimate for unseen damage. Because when you open up a wall to fix a simple leak, you might suddenly find black mold that requires remediation, or maybe corroded shutoff valves that literally shatter the moment they're touched, or just extensive drywall damage. These are the hidden costs of this underground war, and being financially prepared is your absolute best defense.
Which brings us to our final thought for this explainer. I want you to look around your home right now. Just think about it. What kind of pipes are hiding behind your bathroom mirror at this very moment? Are they modern PEX lines holding strong, or are they 40-year-old galvanized steel pipes quietly rusting from the inside out, just waiting for that clay soil to shift one last time? The war is happening right beneath your feet. The only question is, how well defended is your home? Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and keep learning.